angles. What does congruent mean? What does congruent mean? Yeah. Equal. Same size. What does supplementary mean? Yeah.
That they're all on a line that equals 180.
They equal 180. Doesn't matter if they're on a line or not. It's just two angles that equal 180. So use the context clue here. They have to be supplementary and congruent. What is the size of both of those angles if they have to be the exact same and they have to add to 180? Someone else, you guys got the last two questions. What size are these angles if they are supplementary and they are congruent? So they're the same size and they add to 180. Yeah, thanks. They're each 90 degrees. So that's why I picked the only two 90-degree angles that were there, and that's angle BFA. Nope, that's an E. And angle AFD. All right, name two complementary angles. Complementary means they add up to 90 degrees. Someone new looking for fresh blood. Yes?
AFE and EFD.
Yeah. Angle AFE and angle EFD. Because when I highlight these, let me go ahead and highlight them. This is our AFE and our AFD. That definitely makes a 90-degree angle because this little box over here says this side's 90. So the other side has to be 90 as well because they add up to 180. Cool. All right, we got one more. We got name two vertical angles. You got that one?
Yeah, angle BFC and angle EFD.
Angle BFC, and what was the other one?
EFD.
EFD. Let's check that out. So you said BFC. BFC is that guy. And you also said EFD. Does that look like two straight lines? Yep, and they're across from each other. Is there another vertical angle set of vertical angles? The correct answer is yes.
Oh.
Yeah. You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. So he named these two. You want to name the other pair?
Angle BFE.
B.
Equals CFE.
Yep. So BFE, see the big one? And the opposite side, big one. Two straight lines always have two pairs of vertical angles. It's impossible not to. So if you have one pair of vertical angles, there has to be another one on the other side of it. Yeah?
Would it not count as an angle if you just said CFE and BFD?
CFE, and what was the other one?
BFD. Would it
BF.
not count for
Yeah, those aren't vertical angles. They're not straight across from each other. They have to basically like bleed into each other. See how these are both? These are just both 180-degree angles, no matter where you're going. You can't be across from each other if you're 180 degrees. Are you okay with those problems? Any questions? We do have a test next Friday. So now's the time to ask questions. We're good? All right, today we're not learning anything new. Kind of. Everything we knew yesterday is all we need to start off with. We just need to know what a complementary angle is and what a supplementary angle is. We're just going to throw a couple word problems and a couple algebraic problems in the mix. And because we have shortened classes, we're probably not going to go through all of the problems. So let's look at the first one. The first one says, if angle BA and B are supplementary, find the values of x, measure of angle A, and measure of angle B. Well, since A and B are supplementary, we know right off the bat that angle A plus angle B equals 180. Well, that doesn't help me solve for x. But what we can do is we can take the fact that measure of angle A equals 2x and plug it in for A. So that's going to give me 2x. Then we'll take the fact that 2x plus 20 equals measure of angle B and plug that in for angle B. So we're going to have plus 2x plus 20, and that whole thing is still going to equal 180 degrees. Now we just solve for x. Now it's just algebra. I didn't even ask a question. Yeah.
40.
It comes out to 40? Awesome. Can I double check? You sure? I trust myself, but we'll continue on. So we're going to have 4x. I'm going to subtract 20. Maybe I should show these steps. Minus 20, minus 20. And that's going to equal 160. Divide both sides by 4, and you come up with x equals 40. Whew, lo and behold, you were correct. I didn't doubt you, but we have to put this in our notes. Yeah?
Where's the
2x plus 20.
20?
Yep, make sure you hold on to the whole thing. That's why I circled the whole thing. That's why in my notes I'd make sure I circle the whole thing and put the whole thing there. Not done yet. I need to find the angle A, and I need to find angle B. Well, angle A equals 2x, so that's just going to be 2 times, well, x equals 40, so it's 2 times 40, which is just going to equal 80 degrees. That is my A. B, we're going to do the same thing. Angle B equals 2 times x, where x is 40, so we'll put 40 in place of the x, and then it's plus 20. 2 times 40 is 80, plus 20 is 100 degrees. Guys, be smart. Be smart on this problem. It says A and B need to be supplementary. Are A and B supplementary? Yes, 100 plus 80 equals 180. Was that hard to check? Guess how many people on tests don't check that? Several people. I will say, give me 2 supplementary angles. They'll make a mistake on here and come up with, this is 75 and this is 12 or something. And it's like, well, those aren't supplementary. Go back and check your work. All right, check your answers and then check your work. I'm not going to go through the next one. I'm just going to take a picture of it so you can see the work just for sake of time. Our second one's going to look like this, just so you can copy down the answer. You should get out angle A equals 70, and you should get out measure of angle B equals 110. Just make sure you write down 70 and 110 so you can check your own work. I'm not going to stay on this slide for the sake of time. Instead, we're going to go to this one. Bless you. You guys are solving this problem. The one where measure of angle A equals 3x and measure of angle B equals x plus 2. If you get done early, then do the next one. All right, but this is the one I'm going to be checking. I want to see if you can do this. Remember, we are now complementary, not supplementary. This is angle A and B are complementary. Find x, A, and B. So you are on your own on this one. Find x, find A, find B. And I'll give you a little time. Here's my work. Complementary means 90 degrees. Make sure you set it equal to 90 degrees. Do you think that's a common mistake, Will?
Yeah.
It's a very common mistake on a test. Very common. Make sure you read the problems explicitly. When I read complementary, I think 90 immediately. So I make it equal to 90. Solve for x. X equal 22. Plug 22 in for x. 3 times 22 is 66. 22 plus 2 is 24. At the end of the day, I'm going to go, is 66 plus 24 equal to 90 degrees? Yes. Yes, it is. All right. The next one we're not going to do together. I'm just going to show you the answer, and you can check if you had time. Otherwise, you can do it on your own. Your x should end up being 30. A is going to be 50. B is going to be 40. So if you didn't have time to do this one, maybe write down the answers and try it later. Big one is A is 50. B is 40. Because we do need to move on. Because these aren't bad as long as you know what complementary and supplementary is. These can be a little more difficult. These can be a little more difficult. Now you guys are going to all follow around. You'll nod your head and say, yes, I'm going to write this. And then I'm going to see on your test and homework, you're not going to follow the pattern that I set up for you, which makes your life a lot harder. I am showing you the easiest way to do these problems. Try not to shortcut it unless you're 100% confident you nail these 100% of the time. Stick with this pattern. So this is how I read these questions. Most of this is a blur to me in the beginning. All I really read, so I'm going to read it, and I'm going to say what stands out in my head. It says a supplementary of an angle is 3 times as large as the complement of the angle. Find the measure of the angle. What jumps out to me are 3 important things. Supplement, complement, and we need to have an original angle. So I'm going to highlight those things. I'm going to say supplement's important because I'm doing something with the supplement. I am doing something with the complement. And that means I have to do something with an angle, especially because I need to find an angle when I'm done. I need the original angle. Those are so important, I'm going to go ahead and write those down. I'm going to say I need to deal with an angle. I need to deal with its supplement. And I also need to deal with its complement. All right, these are going to be algebraic problems. It is setting up an algebraic problem because we see in here 3 times. That means I'm multiplying something by 3. If I have an algebraic expression, I'm usually not going to write supplementary, complementary angle somewhere in there. I'm going to use variables. I'm going to set these up according to variables. Well, the easiest thing for me to do is angle equals A. I'm just going to use a capital A to stand for my angle. That way it doesn't get lost in the shuffle. How can I rewrite supplementary? What formula can I put for supplementary? There's an actual formula for supplementary angles. Yeah.
Angle A plus angle B equals 180.
This is true, but there's one way to do it without even talking about the other angle. Just using angle A. I just need to use an A, yeah.
180 minus A.
180 minus A. I think a lot of us knew that. We just didn't know what I was looking for. Yeah. What was that?
90 minus A.
It'd be 90 minus A. Yes, our next one would be 90 minus A. So that means if our angle is 30 degrees, our complement is 180 minus 30, which equals 50 degrees. Are we writing that down? All right. Like I said, you need to stay with this. This is how you need to solve these. Unless you become a master of these and you can just see it at the end. Now we're looking at this important part. So I have all these done. I know I have to talk about this. I need to somehow put some of this in my equation. A is for angle, yes. So I'm looking at this 3 times as large. Well, that's nice because 3 times means multiply by 3. And we're comparing the supplement to the complement. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up an equation. I'm just going to use words for right now, and then we'll use the variables in a second. We'll have supplement on one side, and we're going to have complement on the other. And we have 3 times something. 3 times something. Now, when I set up an equation, I want both sides to be balanced. Right now, they aren't balanced. One of those is bigger than the other. So one of those doesn't work. It tilts our stuff up. We just got to figure out which one is unbalanced. So what we need to figure out is which one's bigger, the supplement or the complement. Does anyone know which is bigger in this, the supplement or the complement? The first sentence says it. You just got to sort some stuff out. Will? The supplement is bigger. In fact, your supplement will always be bigger than your complement because a supplement needs to equal 180, where a complement just has to add to equal 90. But the statement is the supplement is 3 times as large. I want you to picture this. My supplement's this hand, my complement's this hand. My supplement's really big, my complement's really small. In order for my hands to be equal or to balance the scales, I need to multiply the smaller one by 3. That will bring this back up. So because my supplement is the big one, I'm going to multiply by the small one. So that's the big one. So to make these two equal, I need to go 3 times my complement. All right, the wording's a little weird because it says 3 times as large as the complement. So sometimes people put the 3 times somewhere weird. Just think about which one's bigger, which one's smaller, which one you have to increase to match it up. All right, now let's put our variables in those places. So our supplement is 180 minus A equals 3 times my complement is, now here's the rub, make sure you use parentheses because this 3 is going to get distributed to both things. Now we solve like an algebraic problem. So I have 180 minus A equals 3 times 90 is 270, but don't forget to go 3 times that A, which will be negative 3A. All right, I'm going to do 2 steps in one. I want to get rid of that 180 on this side, so I'm going to subtract 180. That will get rid of that. But I have to subtract the same on the other side. Then I'm going to add 3A on this side to get rid of the 3A on that side. And I add it to this side. So I'm left with 2A equals 90. Sure probably did that in black. Let's highlight it in black. There we go. Divide both sides by 2, and you should come up with, I'm actually going to put this over here. Our A equals 90 degrees. Now I'm going to look back at what the question asked for. It did say find, oh, it should be 45. I said it, and then I decided to shift it over here. It should be 45. Thank you. Now I'm going to look at the end. It says find the measure of the angle. Did I find the measure of the angle? Yep. Do you think there's problems in the homework that say also state the supplement and the complement? Yes, there are. So I'm going to on this one because it is notes. So I'm going to name the supplement and the complement as well. Even though they didn't ask for it, I'm going to do it anyway because I'm going to show you how to check your answer. What's the supplement to this one? Yeah. 135 degrees. You could have done it 2 ways. You could have said, what do I need to add to make 180? Or you could have plugged it right into this formula. 180 minus 45 equals 135. Then what's your complement? Yeah. 45 degrees. All right, now I'm going to show you how to check. I'm going to do a small check down here to make sure I did everything right. My supplement needs to be 3 times as large as my complement for this to work. So just multiply your complement by 3 and see what you come up with. So our check is just 3 times 45. Well, 3 times 45 does equal 135. We're good. I can move on. It's a very quick check. And I'm done. When I grade these, if you have the wrong answer, this is how I grade it. I see, did you make a key? If you didn't, then you better have jumped here correctly, because if you make any mistakes writing this out, I'm going to take off extra points because you didn't make a key to yourself. Because this will save time. Even though it seems like you're doing extra work, it'll save you a whole bunch of time on a test. Because the worst thing you can do on a test is just skip steps, make mistakes. Then it takes longer to do a problem. So when I'm grading this, if you have the wrong answer, I check to see if this. If you don't have this, then you get more points taken off if you make mistakes in here. All right, if it's just algebra, that is the least amount of points you lose. All right, algebra mistake is just a small number of points you can lose. Your big points are understanding this and being able to come up with an equation with it. So my advice to you is just do this key. You'll get more points. Even if you mess up everything here, if you make a good key, I know at least you're thinking along the right lines. All right, let's do another one. This one says an angle is 3 more than twice its supplement. Does that one talk about complements at all? No. So it didn't talk anything about complements, so all I need to worry about is the angle, which I'm going to call cap A. And I'm going to talk about the supplement, which is the one that equals 180, so this is going to be 180 minus A. Maybe I should highlight those just like I did last time. So we're talking about the angle. We're talking about the supplement. Now we're comparing the angle to the supplement, and it says it's 3 more than twice its supplement. So I want you to, in your head right now, don't raise your hand. I'll ask for volunteers in a second. Think in your head right now, which is bigger? The angle, or is it supplement based upon the terminology between it? So I don't need any hands raised. I want you to think right now, which one's bigger? And I do want you to write it on your sheet. You're writing with pencil, so if you're wrong, you can erase it. So if you think your angle's bigger, maybe put a little angle arrow and say this is bigger. If you think this one's bigger, put a little arrow and say that's bigger. But I want everyone to have something written down, a guess written down. Did you write down a guess? Oh, okay. I see what you did.
I think it's
Supplement's bigger? What one's bigger? Okay. Keiko, which one's bigger? The supplement? Which one do you think is bigger? The angle? Okay. Which one do you think is bigger? Okay. Which one do you think is bigger? Supplement? Which one did you think was bigger? Angle? Which one did you think was bigger? Supplement? Okay. All right, so we have kind of a healthy blend between angle and supplement. So some of us think it's angle, some of us think it's supplement. So let's go back and read this. So this says an angle is 3 more than twice its supplement. So if I say I'm 3 years older than you, who's older? I am. So if an angle is 3 more than a supplement, just in that one statement, which one has to be bigger even without the 2 times? Yeah, the angle needs to be. Because the angle is 3 more than twice its supplement. Just like if I'm 3 years older, this angle is 3 more than the supplement, and it's 3 more than twice the supplement. All right, so if I had 2 supplements put on top of each other, I still have to add 3 more to it to get as high as my angle. So in this case, our angle is the bigger one. A supplement is only always bigger than the complement. That's the only one that it's always bigger than. All right, so our angle is bigger. So when we set up this equation, we have an angle, and we're going to set it equal to the supplement. But they're not equal. The angle's too big. So that means everything that's in here I have to do to the supplement to make them equal. Twice tells me to multiply. 3 more tells me to add. So I'm adding 3. Now we just plug in our variables. Angle is going to be A. Supplementary is going to be that 180 minus A in parentheses. And then we add 3. All of A equals 2 times 180 is 360. 2 times a negative A is negative 2A plus 3. Add 2A to both sides. You'll have 3A on this side equals 363. A is going to equal, who's got that for me? Yep. 121 degrees. What would the supplement equal? If my angle is 121 degrees, what is my supplement, Ethan?
59 degrees.
59 degrees. Didn't ask for it, but I'm going to do it because how do I check? How do I check to make sure all my math is right? So once again, our angle is 121. Supplement was 59, that's why I did that check. It did only ask for the angle. In your homework, I think it does ask for your supplement and complement in some of them. I think the hardest part about this, set up your variables, figure out which one's bigger so you know which side you have to multiply or do whatever has to happen on. All right, let's go through these problems. Name 3 angles that are congruent to 5. Let's do this quickly. Who can name 1 angle that's congruent to 5? 8? How do you know 8 is?
Because they're vertical angles.
Vertical angles, perfect. Can someone name another one? Yeah.
4.
How do we know angle 4 is?
The little line.
Little line. It's a symbol for congruent, right? So they better be congruent. Who can go on the limb and name the hardest of the 3 angles? There's one more angle that's congruent to 5. One more angle congruent to 5. Yeah.
Angle 7?
How'd you get angle 7?
Because if 4 is congruent to it and 4 and 7 are vertical angles, then they have to be the same measurement.
Oh. Do you know what you just used? The transitive property, or the transitive postulate. That's an important postulate to know. That is, if 5 is equal to 4 and 4 is equal to 7, then 5 has to be equal to 7. I always think of the transitive as building a train. I'm going from 5 to there, from there to there, and my 2 ends are still connected. That is our transitive postulate. It's an important one to know. All right, name two angles that are adjacent to 9. 2 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 angles that are adjacent to 9, yeah. 4 and 8, yep. Because they're right next to it. Say same sides, same vertex. Do 9 and 6 have to have the same measure? Why or why not, Ethan?
That's because they're vertical angles.
Yes, because they're vertical angles. Perfect. All right, last thing on the docket, questions from the homework. Questions from the homework. I have my homework right here. Give me a number, a question, and I will answer things. Tickle. 23, 23, 20. Oh, that proof? Yeah. Okay, that proof, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't have the drawing, so I'm going to draw it as best I can. So we have a proof that looks like that. We had a little triangle doohickey up here. Looks something like that. Might be terrible, but we had 1, 2, 3, 4, and we had a little symbol here, right? All right, let's just talk about this without looking down here. I want to prove that angle 1 is equal to angle 4. Let's first see if it's true. A good thing when you prove something is you need to believe it's true for you to prove it's true. So I want to get from 1 to 4. Well, do you agree that 1 and 2 are congruent? Because of vertical angles, right? Are 2 and 3 congruent? Yeah, they totally are. Is 3 and 4 congruent? Yeah. Do you see the lengths that get me from here to 4? Do you see those lengths? That's just the transitive property. So my proof is going to look something like this. I want to be able to say 1 and 2 are congruent because of vertical angles. I need to say that 2 and 3 are congruent. Well, they already did that for me. And then I want to be able to say that 3 and 4 are congruent because of vertical angles. Then I can say the transitive postulate says 1 and 4 are congruent. So let's see if those steps were down here. Well, my given was 2 and 3, so we already took care of that one part. I said 1 and 2 are congruent, vertical angles. 3 and 4 are vertical angles. I went from here to here to here to here. Transitive postulate says that 1 and 4 also have to be congruent. In fact, I could say 1 and 3 are congruent. I could say 2 and 4 by the transitive postulate. I just created this chain of all these things that are congruent. I could say anything in that pool now is congruent. Does that make it a little easier, I guess? Yeah. I think proofs are easy once I go through them and explain them, but they're going to be really hard on your own at times. Other questions? Yeah? 9. 9, and I think I led you in the wrong path. I kind of quickly just pointed out an angle, and I think I pointed out the wrong angle to you. Number 9. So see that 4x, and I did a terrible job showing this too. 4x is actually this entire red region here. So I'd be comparing it to that big region up there, which is that 100. I did a terrible job, because what I should have did is put that 4x closer to here, so it looked like it was the whole thing. but this line meant that whole thing is 4n. All right, if you have other questions, please come see me after school. I just don't have time. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. Get that homework done.